Mixing engineers won't do this.
I have a top-end cut. It's pretty drastic. It's 10 dB at 28K.
But this affects your hi-hats and the top-end sheen.
Great, that's what we want.
How come it sounded good on Young Thug's song?
Oh, I can't tell you what it's exactly doing, but it's fucking awesome.
I'm YECK, and in this video, I'm going to reveal 5 key points I've learned from all of Bainz's tutorials. You won't believe how these 5 techniques will boost your career instantly, whether you're a mixing engineer or music producer. I'll reveal the plugins he uses with his specific settings. The last one feels like cheating. Stay tuned. Before we start, hit the subscribe button so you won't miss out on new content. This may shock you since a lot of us are looking for a complex or advanced way to make them work together and avoid any conflicts between these two important elements. But I'm going to show you how top-notch engineers like Bainz sidechain their kick and bass together. As we know, these two elements shouldn't hit at the same time to avoid overpowering the low end.
They handle low end well, but the minute you push it where it's not meant to go, they start flubbing. So
there are a lot of ways that I explained in the pinned video, but this one is so easy. Simply move your bass below the kick line and write the volume automation on your 808. So whenever the kick hits, the 808 goes down. You're surprised, no? Although personally, I use a different technique, but I believe it's a simple but effective way to do that. Basically, sidechaining the kick and bass using a compressor is a similar thing. It's like writing volume automation where attack and release amounts control the envelope of the automation curve. So in this way, you can visually see what's happening, and you can draw the curve manually whenever the kick hits. As Bainz mentioned in his tutorial, he also uses Wavesfactory Trackspacer to make even more room for the kick. Here's how to use Trackspacer. Simply open it on the bass track and sidechain your kick into it. You can control the reduction amount using this knob here. It's better to not go too far as it takes longer to bring back the bass sound. You can access the Premium Legends mixing template through the link provided in the description.
Then goes this here to the Fusion. This is usually just doing that high frequency ducking, like it's got a high frequency compressor.
As you may have guessed, high frequency compression is used to tame undesirable harshness in the tracks. He used SSL high frequency compressor hardware to do this, but SSL officially released its plugin version, so you can get similar results. Now let's dive into this plugin and figure out the best way to use it. This is a circuit that only compresses high frequencies, introducing A-tape-like top-end roll-off, taming unwanted brittleness or harshness that can sometimes build up in a mix or individual stem sound. Other compressor parameters such as attack release and ratio have all been fixed in the design and are optimized for the best transparency. Less fiddling and more results. A good starting point for full mix material is threshold at 2 dB and X over around 15K. The recommended approach is similar to the hardware. Move the controls until the accompanying high-frequency compressor color LED just starts to flicker green occasionally. You'll hear more of the compressor's envelope taming harshness while maintaining high-end transients due to the attack and release. If you've watched until now, hit the like button so more people can see this video. We currently have only 2 slots available for our mixing service. Secure yours by reserving through the link provided below. What's spectral balance? It refers to the distribution of frequencies across the audible spectrum. A well-balanced mix will have an even distribution of frequencies.
there's the dominated frequencies and the dominant frequencies, and based on that,
with no particular frequency range overpowering the others. This ensures that every instrument and element in the mix can be heard clearly, and that the overall sound is pleasing to the ear. Spectral balance is crucial for achieving a professional quality mix that sounds cohesive and natural. Judging the right balance can be affected by many factors like the room acoustics, ear fatigue, monitor speakers quality, and personal preference. Nowadays, achieving a balanced frequency spectrum is much easier thanks to the plugins available that do this automatically. He uses Sound Theory Gullfoss to achieve that frequency balance.
Gullfoss is fucking awesome. Oh, I can't tell you what it's exactly doing, but it's fucking awesome.
Sound Theory Gullfoss is an innovative audio processing tool that uses artificial intelligence to automatically adjust the frequency balance of a signal in real time. It analyzes the audio signal and applies specific EQ adjustments to improve clarity, detail, and balance, making it sound more polished and professional.
Okay, let's open up Gulfos, see what we can start with, and then go from there. Oh, like 9, I'd say it worked like 6 out of 10 times.
Gulfos is known for its ability to enhance the overall sound of a mix without the need for manual EQ adjustments, making it a valuable tool for mixing and mastering engineers.
You got that daydream look in your eye.
If you want to know more about it and its alternatives, check out the pinned video. Basically, you have only 2 controls: tame and recover. The tame control adjusts the aggressive peaks in the audio signal, smoothing out harsh frequencies and making the sound more balanced and pleasant. The recover control, on the other hand, enhances the quieter elements of the mix, bringing out subtle details and improving the overall clarity. By using these 2 controls in combination, users can achieve a more polished and professional sound without having to manually adjust individual EQ settings. But since this plugin is so powerful, use very small amounts. Personally, I didn't go further than 21 on tame and recover.
It's got very few sliders. I always stick below 20% on anything I'm doing, maybe 30 at the most, but usually below 20%.
Be careful. If your sound contains no high or low frequency, just limit the plugin process range so it only affects certain frequencies. By limiting the plugin's processing range, you can avoid altering frequencies that are already well balanced and focus on enhancing the areas that require attention.
You got that daydream look in your eye, and I got that.
This targeted approach can lead to more precise and effective results when using sound theory Gulfos or similar AI-powered audio processing tools.
I have a top-end cut. It's pretty drastic. It's 10 dB at 28K.
High cut in mastering can initially seem counterintuitive, but it can actually enhance your sound. Learning Bainz's technique shifted my perspective on this practice. He applies a high-cut filter around 28K to increase focus in the mix, using hardware like the DW Fearn VT5 or the Acoustica Ruby 2 plugin.
Now, because it's so high, you would think that it would just dull everything down, but it doesn't actually do that. It actually brings the mix more into focus.
Okay, shit, I just woke up in the animal. Niggas want beef and I'm trying to be vegan, but fuck it, they bring a can of smoke.
This approach results in a more refined and polished master. It ends up taming any harshness caused by vocals, hi-hats, or any stuff like that. And because he aims for 28K, it doesn't fully cut the high frequencies. It cuts them with a gentle slope so the results would be pleasant. Hit the like and subscribe button and join our family.
So for monitoring, we're gonna...
If you pay attention to the chart-topping songs, they all translate well on all speakers. To ensure he achieves this goal, Bainz relies heavily on his world-class monitoring setup. His main speakers are the PMC IB2 SXBDA models.
We got the PMC 82s over here. They're just insane. So they have the detail and they're big enough,
which provide incredibly accurate and translatable sound. However, Bainz doesn't just use one set of speakers. He also has the iconic Oceanway Audio HR3 monitors, which he loves for their big translation and representing how the mix will sound on large speaker systems. Finally, Bainz utilizes a pair of AON prototypes from CBS, passive speakers that handle low-end information differently. As he pushes the density of his low end, when these speakers begin to break up, he knows he has reached the limit and needs to pull back.